Hi, this is a tutorial on how to write the introductory paragraph in an essay. In this particular one that I will be using as an example, it is the first introductory paragraph of what becomes a 5-paragraph essay, and this is for a film class. The essay is analyzing certain techniques, certain techniques at work in a scene that creates an experience for the viewer. Okay, so here's some general principles about an introductory paragraph. So let's walk you through this over here. All right, so the first is you want to get us into the essay somehow. Often it's done in a catchy way, and there are different methods for that. It doesn't have to be catchy, but it could be nice if it does that. So get us into the essay in some way. Sometimes a story is used, sometimes a quotation or a statistic. Sometimes you make the point of how vital something is. Sometimes you start with the opposite of a point and then switch around. Whatever the technique is, you take the first sentence or two and get us into the essay in some way. Okay, after that, then you have to focus on down to, in this case, what the movie is and the scene, and you want to identify what those are to us. And it doesn't have to be in the second sentence or the third or the fourth, but it has to move in that direction. So you can see by my design down here, it's like this funnel here, right? Just roughly perceived as that. Okay, and then after that, you really want to bring it on down to the thesis, about this word, and that is, what is the intention of the essay? What are you trying to demonstrate? What are you trying to persuade us of or introduce to us, inform us of something? So you want to bring it on down to that, and finally, even though it can be a little bit too formulaic, it is good to focus on down to what the main ideas are for your essay. Okay, so think about this funnel action, and let's move on down to a real sample. Okay, I got to erase that and move on down here. Okay, so roughly what goes on here in these first few sentences is, hang on a sec, I have to move this up a little bit more. Okay, let me get this down here. All right, in the beginning here, the author does get us into the essay, though we don't know what the essay is going to be about for a while. A little bit catchy here, you can read this on your own, but it moves on down to talking about death. And no mention yet of movies or anything else. It talks about how it fills up our dreams, kids' dreams and nightmares and so on, and it plays around with that for a little while and moves from death down to suicide. So this is still kind of under number 1 that I mentioned before, but pretty quickly then it moves into number 2 here, and that is identifying the movie and the scene here. The scene is actually right down here. It took a little while in this instance, but that's okay, especially because this beginning was so well written. So we have 1, we have 2, and then it does come down here, and really, let's see here. It's kind of buried in here, but number 3, and that is, let's see, expertly combines the beauty of. So actually it's buried in one sentence where it's saying that the director, Wells, uses a lot of techniques to have an effect on us. And the main thing is down here, and that is they're mentioned. The main ideas are mentioned down here. In this case, topic number 1, and this will be the first essay down here. I'm sorry, the first paragraph down here. Here's another main topic. That'll be the second body paragraph. Another one and another one. So these are all presented after the introductory paragraph in the same order they are introduced to us here. All right. So once again, for an introductory paragraph, you need to get us into it some way. Tell us the topic. In the case of this movie essay, you have to tell us the movie, maybe a little about it, and the particular scene you're looking at. And then in 3 and 4, what is the topic? I'm sorry, what is the thesis, and what are the main topics you'll be looking at? Okay, I'll give you one more example down here. Let me remove that and move down here. All right, here's another example that you can look at on your own, but it does contain these same kinds of things in here, although it's in different order. In this case, we get a little introduction of the movie and the director right away, and it does move into some other general things up here. This is all kind of number one stuff, and it's all focusing on down eventually to the thesis, if I can find it down here. Yeah, it's about narrative, that there are various elements of narrative in this story, in this movie, excuse me. So that would really be number 3, and then down here is number 4, and that is the main ideas. We talk about setting. Did I miss one? The plot, I'm sorry. Plot first, then setting, and character, how the character gets revealed. And the subsequent paragraphs will elaborate upon each of those ideas. So, by the way, number 2 is buried in here. It just is in a different place. It does mention, actually it's up here. 2 is, I guess to be technical, is up here in that we're introduced right away to the movie, although, no, not an although. It does mention it right there. So you can play around a little bit with these, although almost always the 3 and the 4 are going to be down here because that launches us right into the next paragraph. Okay, so this is introductory paragraph and the things to keep in mind. To remind you of that, here they are. Get us into the essay, focus on down, make sure you let us know the movie and the particular scene, and if you need to give us any background that leads to that, that'll help. Bring it on down to what your thesis is, and make sure you let us know what your main ideas are. Okay, hope that helps you out.